What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of StoneBlock. Oh yeah, guys. Last episode, we started setting up a little bit of mechanism automations over here. We got ourselves 4 metallurgic infusers, and we were just setting up the automation so we could say 1 iron ingot is going to equal the enriched alloy, and we're providing this thing with redstone. And yeah, this was working slow, but it was automated, and we were able to tell it to craft stuff. Well, since then, I went ahead and I took it a step further. I added more crafters over here to our thermal expansion machines, specifically the pulverizer. That way we can take osmium and turn it into osmium dust, and we can take gold and turn it into pulverized gold. Those are needed specifically for making the upgrades, the speed upgrade and the energy upgrade. They're pretty much both the same recipe. One uses osmium dust, one uses gold dust, right? And then it uses 2 of these enriched alloys to make the speed upgrades. Each of these mechanism machines hold 8 of those types. So all 4 of these, I went ahead and I added in 8 of the energy and 8 of the speed. So they go pretty fast, and they only use 200 RF per tick while they're operating. Okay, so yeah, we can do lots of stuff. Now there is further upgrades for these machines. We can do what's called the factory, and then that way, we can have like 3 of these processing at a time, or 5 or 7. Like, you can do some pretty crazy stuff with the factories in this mod. We'll definitely want to be doing that at some point. I'm not exactly sure. Let's take a look at the mechanism tier installer, what these things cost. So it looks like it is basic circuits. So that is just osmium. Okay, that's another recipe we could do to make these guys. Then we could turn these into like the basic factory tiers, and then it'll just make them process things that much faster. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we want, the recipe is 1 osmium is going to equal 1 of these. So let's do a processing pattern here. Osmium, we'll take 1 osmium ingot, not 32. 1. So 1 osmium ingot, and we will run it through our machine over here, a redstone infuser. Okay, so basic control circuit, we need that so we can set what the item, the resulting item will be here. So we can do that, do this, and now we just add that to our crafter over here. And like so, and now we can make those all the time. So now that we're able to make those, actually let's craft, what was that called? That was called a basic control circuit. Basic control. Let's craft like, I don't know, 4 of them so you guys can see the speed in which it goes. I mean, it's okay, it's not super fast, and then it's not outputting really fast either. I should probably look at getting that to move a little bit more quickly. But anyway, so that's the speed. Now if we add in the tier installer, we can see, well, let's go ahead and make it. Actually, let's not do that recipe. I want to do this one. Okay, I won't do it that way, so I will do it this way. Okay, I don't know if that makes a difference, but we're not using the IC2 stuff, so I'd rather have it set up this way. You know what? This doesn't go over here, does it? This one goes into our Mac. So let's put it over here. That guy. All right, so tier installer, we're going to make 4 of these, and that should go pretty quickly. I can add that into the system. So there's 3 of them. It's got to make, I guess, 2 more of this basic control. Okay, and there we go. Now we can come over here with these guys. We can just right click them on the machines while they're in place. You can see they change texture, right? And when we look at them, yeah, the interface is slightly different. It adds a whole lot more spots for the different items to go in here. We still need to upgrade this to the more efficient method. Right now, 1 redstone, I think, equals 10 on this thing. If we run a redstone through an enrichment chamber, we can make it so 1 redstone equals 100, I think. Anyway, or maybe it's 80. It makes it way more efficient. So we'll probably be looking at doing that here pretty soon as well. Okay, so maybe that's one of the next things we should do. Let's take a look at the enrichment chamber. I'd rather not put the raw materials through here. And besides, we're going to need to do that anyway to get our diamond one and the obsidian, enriched obsidian one. So let's start looking at that. So in order to make the enrichment chamber, it's pretty much the things that we're able to make now, plus, yeah, we're able to make all this stuff. More auto crafting. I'll make that steel casing. I'm sure that's going to be needed for more recipes in the future. So we'll make one of those. Oh, you can't craft it like that. Where is this Enderman? Downstairs? I keep hearing him. He's driving me nuts. All right, so we have the steel casing. We will add that to our Mac here. This guy. All right. And is it worth making the enrichment chamber? We're only going to make one of these, I think. It might not be worth doing that. Steel casing. I was going to set up a recipe, but I don't think we need to. Okay, so we need one more basic. We should probably just tell the system to craft like 30 of those, because it's not really a big deal. It's not like we don't have the resources for it. I think oh, I told it to craft the wrong thing, didn't I? Okay, let's cancel that. Cancel all. Basic. We wanted it. Why was it doing that one? It's crafting these now. I'm not sure what just happened there, to be honest. But anyway, these are what we needed. Here's our enrichment chamber. I think we can upgrade that as well. So let's go do that. And we will stick this guy, I guess. Oops, trying to hit the number 1. Somehow this keeps getting sorted. And I'm not sure. Oh, it's probably when I middle click out of the refined storage system, isn't it? Yeah, the sorting when you're in that screen like messes up my hotbar, and that's getting kind of annoying. Anyway, so here's our enrichment chamber. Place it right like so. We're gonna need a crafter for that too. One of these guys. There we go. So everything's hooked up here. We need to go through this and set this whole thing up correctly. So we want the output to be the back. Energy doesn't really matter. Output, we don't want to be there. So input items from the top, output to the back. We want to, well, let's take a look at it first of all. So it's just got the 1 slot. We'll add the installer upgrade to it. Now we get 3 slots. So pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to add coal here, and it's going to turn into compressed carbon. We'll add redstone. It'll turn into the compressed redstone. Let's take a look at some of this real quick. So we'll throw in, I guess, just 1 coal. We need 1. Oh, we also need the upgrades for this too. So speed upgrade. Let's make 8 of those, and then we're gonna need energy upgrades as well. Okay, so it's got to process those over here. There we go, we're making the dust. Now it should be processing some of the other things over here. Although this looks wrong. Why is this wrong? We don't have power for some reason. Why don't we have power? Nothing should have changed. We have power here. So after doing the network, maybe I gotta update this. Still says 0 power. Was I on the right one? No, this one. Did that change it? Why does that not have power now? That is really weird. Do I have to break and replace this machine? Do I need to break and replace the conduit? So there's the conduit gone. Now if I put it back. Okay, so there's an issue with the conduit somehow. Oh, this thing also we want to set to auto sort, so it'll fill up all these slots. So all of these, we need to turn the auto sort function on. Okay, so there's our compressed carbon. Now I wonder, it's really weird that those cables weren't working. All right, well anyway, we got that solved. It's making the thing, so we should have our speed upgrades now and our energy. So we'll go and throw those into this machine here. Go to the upgrade tabs, you just toss those in there and it does its thing. You can also use your speedy wand of cheatiness, and then that makes it go really fast. All 8 of those are applied, and you can do the same thing here, and all of those are now applied. Okay, so now we have all the efficiency and the speed that we need. This should cost like, well, it says 116. I think it's around 200 though. Same as the other machines. Then the other thing that we need to do is hook this up to be extracting all the time as well. So we need ourselves another item conduit. From the back, we'll set this to extract always active. So that should extract anything that goes through here into that interface. So that goes a lot faster now, which is good. So another thing that we're going to want to do is start having these interfaces back here provide items. So I guess let's grab some redstone first of all. Let's do like a full stack. We'll do a full stack through here. So those split up and it should be, oh, I didn't apply. the conduit here. Energy conduit. Okay. So now it splits them up and it goes kind of fast. I think this works rather well. And then again, we can also make it go really fast and just finish up immediately. Can we speed upgrade the conduit to make that go faster? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, so that's done. We now have a stack of the compressed redstone. Why is that going really slow? Do these, okay. So we need to add the upgrades into these guys here. Well, that's another thing. We have plenty of these stack upgrades. We need 4 of those, and then we need the speed upgrades as well. Okay, so we can add in one of those and then fill these guys in on all of these. Otherwise, these interfaces are going to go pretty slow. Alternatively, instead of interfaces, we could continue using the ender chest, which seems to like be a pretty good way to do it, but I don't know. Like, it's pretty good if you're putting things into storage drawers. I don't know how to insert into the refined storage system any faster than what we're currently doing. Anyway, so now that we have that set up, we want to start providing this one. Instead of redstone, let's get rid of this. We need to do a shift left click, that goes away. And then we want to do compressed redstone. Right there. Okay, so that should be providing, let me put that in the system. All right, so now we have compressed redstone here. So the next thing we need to do is figure out how to tell the system to start crafting when we reach a certain point. I don't know if this thing will automatically detect that we're below a certain point and to request more for this interface export. I don't think there is a way to do that. But I do believe in refined storage, it's been a while since I've last done this, that there is an auto crafter thing, this thing, the detector. So you do a detector, and I can't remember how this works since it's been quite a long time since I last did one of these. Maybe you have to put the detector on like the crafter or something. I'm gonna go ahead and figure that out real quick, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, so that took me a little bit longer than I cared to admit to figure out the auto crafting. It's pretty straightforward, but again, I don't really use refined storage that often, so it took me a minute to figure it out. I ended up making like a whole bunch of these item detectors and doing things like that. It's really, really simple. Pretty much all you gotta do is make yourself the crafting upgrade, right? So crafting upgrade, that's it. And then you place it into an interface that you are exporting items, right? So we want to change this from coal. Let's get rid of that. Cancel. We want to shift left click. We want to do compressed carbon, and we'll go ahead and set this to a stack, right? Okay, so as long as we have that in the system, it'll export them right here. So now that is set up. Let's go back in here real quick. So we want to remove one of these speed upgrades, and we want to replace that with a crafting upgrade. So the interface is exporting items that we don't have with a crafting upgrade. So the only thing we need to do now is tell the system how to make this particular item. Yep, pretty simple. Okay, so we just grab ourselves a piece of coal. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. One piece of coal, and we'll tell it's going to equal one of these. And then we can make the processing pattern like so. And then all we got to do is throw it over here in the crafter. And that should just start up here momentarily as soon as the system recognizes it has that recipe, right? So that's pretty straightforward. And if we come over here to this interface, see that is now filling up. And whenever this drops below 64 that this is trying to output, yep, it will just queue our enrichment factory over here to start making more items. Pretty good. Yeah, I was trying to make this way more complicated than it was, just simply because I forgot how this system works. But you do have to remove one speed upgrade in order to apply the crafting upgrade, but I think that's fine. Yeah, so everything should be working now. We can make both of these. So I guess we want to get rid of that. That should fill up full of the compressed carbon. And we want to get rid of that, and that should fill up full of the compressed redstone. And then the interfaces need to restock themselves, so it'll just go ahead and do it here. Very good. So that is pretty simple. Now we're able to move on to the next stage and make ourselves the enriched diamonds. Let's move away from those machines. Those machines do have muffling upgrades. I might go ahead and add those in there just because the machines are rather annoying to listen to. So refined, no, diamond. Let's look for diamond. Oh, I'm looking at refined. I want to look at mech diamond. This diamond dust and compressed diamond. This is what we're looking for. So a diamond in the enrichment chamber makes a compressed diamond, and then this is one that we want to fill up our machine with. So we need to go make ourselves another recipe here. So let's grab 2 diamonds. One we'll keep on us for the recipe, and the other one we'll throw into the enrichment chamber here. Okay, so now that we have that going back in the system, we can make ourselves yet one more pattern. So compressed diamond from 1 diamond, make this pattern. All right, so we'll add that to our enrichment chamber here. No, wrong one, the pattern. Okay, and then we need to set the output on this guy. Set that to 64. And again, we're gonna need one more crafting upgrade. Okay, and that just replaces one of those, and I can throw that back in the system. And that should start putting those into here. Yeah, you can see that we get quite a lot per one of these compressed diamonds. It would only be 10 per diamond, but you get, I believe it's 80 per enriched. So it definitely makes sense to hook up one of these things. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I added muffling upgrades to these machines. I put in 3 out of 4. If you put in all 4, they're completely silent, and I like hearing a little bit of sound, knowing that things are going on. But yeah, I went ahead and I upgraded all these to the elite tier. Now there is the ultimate tier installer, and this is used for other things, not these machines. This is the biggest you can go on them. So yeah, you can see we get 7 slots worth of stuff. So it's like 7 machines in one. It's so good. So all of these machines are now fully upgraded. We have the compressed diamond. We have ourselves compressed obsidian. We have the recipes to make atomic alloys and reinforced alloys. So yeah, we're doing pretty good here, I would say. So the next step, we were trying, the last episode, we were trying to get to the electrolytic separator. Now we should be able to do this, fully upgraded, and yeah, do all these things that we were trying to do. Now it does require pulverized iron, which we needed to set up a recipe for the muffling upgrades. So we have that already. Osmium, we have that set up, pulverized gold. So we have a lot of these things all ready to go. I will just go ahead and make a pattern for this. I'm not really sure if we need a lot of these things, but since it does require extra crafting, I don't want to have to tell it to craft a whole bunch of things. So we will just tell it to craft that pulverized iron. Did I not tell the system to make pulverized iron? Hold on a second. What is this? Oh, it's steel. That is steel, not iron. My mistake. We did not tell the system how to make pulverized iron. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So we will change this to a processing pattern. We will do one of those is going to equal one of these. Okay, so now we have pulverized iron in the system. We should be able to add that right here. Do one of these, come over here, scroll down to our pulverizer section, add that in. Now we should be able to do the electrolytic core. Okay. And we can see there's things going on over here. It's crafting all the stuff. It's making more of these things. Yep, everything's going good. So electrolytic core, awesome. Yeah, our auto crafting is now starting to take shape a little bit. I like it. So those are the enriched alloy. These are things we should probably just craft up like a stack of them just so we have them, because Mechanism uses those things for practically everything. So you might as well just have some extras laying around. Okay, so there's an electrolytic separator. Now this thing did require us to have water. It's gonna take water as an input and it's gonna output hydrogen and oxygen, right? So we need some kind of way to give these things water. Now, do we have, what's that thing called? Black hole singularity, tank. I can't remember the name of the mod, but I know there is a mod like deep storage. I can't remember the name of it. Is this a quantum tank? This is what we're looking for. Quantum tank. That is from... and this is what we're looking for. The infinite water upgrade for that thing. So that's from the quantum storage mod. So obsidian, a bucket, iron. Very inexpensive, really. And then to make it always have water in it, it is 1 bucket of water with some paper. Again, not so expensive. So sugar cane, we really should figure out a way to get more sugar cane and paper, but that's fine. We'll do that another time. And there's an infinite water upgrade. So we need to extract out of here. This does not push the water. So do we have fluid translocators? We certainly do. And we're going to want some glowstone all up in there. All right. Finally, we're going to want the speed upgrades for this machine. So let's grab 4 of those. And then we're going to want, no, I'm sorry. We need 8 of those, don't we? We'll do 2 recipes of 4. And then we also want the energy upgrade. 8 of those. Let's just search for upgrade. Probably be easier to see all of these at once. So the speed upgrade, energy upgrade, we have the electrolytic separator, and we completed a quest. I didn't realize that was a quest, but we did it. Okay, so now that we have the electrolytic separator, we're gonna set this down for now. We might rearrange these machines once I figure out where they need to go. Let's go ahead and just do all this real quick. So those are done. Speed upgrades done. Awesome. Where does this one accept water from? I think it is from this side here. So we'll put down our quantum tank. We'll do some translocators. We'll turn that on. And we'll also apply the glowstone so it like sends water really fast. All we gotta do is just right click this infinite water onto the quantum tank. Shift right click. How does this work? It says shift click on quantum tank to have tank auto generate water. Shift click. I'm doing it, but it's not doing it. Okay, well, this should work, but it doesn't. Is it because the translocators are here? Let's remove this. Shift click. Do I need to do it from like the bottom side? I wouldn't imagine that would make any difference. Okay, well, apparently this does not work as an infinite water source. Maybe there is something wrong with the mod, or I'm not entirely sure. So what else do we have? Infinite water. We have the endervor, an infinite reservoir for water. When connected with other endervors, add 2 buckets of water for infinite water source. Produces 1 bucket per second. Right click with a wrench to enable auto output. Okay. Create a gas tank. We don't have any kind of, well, let's just search for water. I want to see if there's any other methods here that we can potentially utilize. I'm not seeing anything at the moment. Nothing's catching my eye. I think that water condensator. Yeah, I think, wait, what is this? Eternal water block from Evilcraft. Dark, I don't think we have that stuff. What about these? Those are mob filters. Okay, well, it looks like, oh, a sink. We can use sink. That should be perfect. As long as we can extract out of the sink. Yep, cooking for blockheads, sink. Let's try that. And that requires us to have a water bucket. Where do we get water around here? I can't remember. I think the only place that we have water is in our chicken eggs at the moment. These guys right here, the water eggs. So we can place one here, get ourselves a full bucket of water, and place that there. There's a sink. Okay, so we'll replace the quantum tank, unfortunately, with a sink, which should be the same as long as we can extract water out of it. Looks like we can. That's great. All right, and then we'll place glowstone right there, so that'll make that go a lot faster. Okay, so a little bit of energy that we had was able to extract some hydrogen and some oxygen. Now, one of the things we do need to do once we have this thing set up is figure out which side is which, because I believe oxygen is not used, but hydrogen is. So we need to get ourselves basic, I can never remember, I think it's pressure, basic pressure. This is gases, yeah, basic pressure. Okay, so if we place this on this side, we have lost oxygen. Okay, so that's a side we don't particularly need. So that one we can set to dumping excess. So the other side, this is our hydrogen side. It might make sense for us to flip this machine around because I think we want the hydrogen to go out this way. I can't remember if we can smack this with a wrench to turn it or not. Let's try. Looks like we absolutely can. And does it still accept water after I've turned it? I don't know. Let's grab ourselves a flux point. And give this thing a little bit of power here. Okay, so yeah, it's done everything that it needed to do. We have the energy and the speed upgrades in here. And now we're producing hydrogen. Now, if I remember correctly, we were trying to get to ethylene. I cannot spell that. Biofuel. I can't remember this stuff. That comes from the crusher. This is used in the metallurgic infuser and the pressure reaction chamber with hydrogen and water. Right, so that's what we have to do. So we need to get ourselves a crusher that's making this stuff, and then we need to pump in the hydrogen and more water into a pressure reaction chamber. So let's get ourselves a pressure reaction chamber. I guess it's just called PRC. No? It is... Oh, I guess it is spelled out. Maybe I spelled that wrong when I was trying to search for it. So that does require an enrichment chamber, some basic gas tanks, a dynamic tank, steel and a bucket. That's not bad. The enrichment chamber, yeah, everything we can make right now. Let me make that real quick, upgrade it, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so pressurized reaction chamber is in place. I'm not sure which side it can accept the hydrogen from. I assume it's any side because it doesn't look like any particular side is marked in any way. But I faced the machine. Well, I placed it facing this direction. So it is not accepting the hydrogen automatically. So we need a way for it to know that it can do that. So if we go into the configuration gases, it says outputs on that side. What else do we do in input? Oh, okay. So that immediately grabs the hydrogen. This made more hydrogen. Okay, so we're good to go. And then this needs water. So this sink needs to provide water over here, or we just make another sink either way. Does the sink have EMC? It does. All right. So we'll just go ahead and make a bazillion sinks here real quick. Put that right there, and we'll remove one of these books. Okay. That's about a bazillion. Cool. So now we have all the sinks that we're going to need, all the infinite water sources. It might be a thing where we just set up like one of these sinks somewhere and then use like pipes, or we can also do like ender tanks or whatever instead of having these sinks around. But for now, I think this is fine. It'll get the job done. So we can place that there, and then we need to do the same thing on this one. We need more of the translocators and another glowstone. Okay, so we can place that there, one glowstone on this guy, and we press the button. So now that thing is full with 10 buckets of water. The only thing it is now missing is the biofuel, and once that's done, it'll start making the, I can't remember those things are called, plus the ethylene. Okay, so now we need to get ourselves a crusher. And the crusher is fairly straightforward. We need 2 buckets of lava. All right, so lava eggs are going to come in handy for that. And bucket, we need to make some more. So let's grab some iron. And I'm probably just going to make a stack of buckets. Oh, they stacked to 64. I didn't realize that. Make a stack of buckets so we don't have to keep making these for later. All right. Can you craft a lava egg with a bucket to make the lava bucket, I wonder? I don't know. Maybe that's the recipe. Anyway, let's move on here. So crusher. This guy, we should be able to do that with a steel casing. And now we have ourselves a crusher. Okay, so I believe the crusher, we can... I believe we can upgrade that. I think you can do the tier installers. So we have the basic tier. Let's try that first of all. Oh yeah, so we turn that into a factory. So let's do the other ones. Tier installer. So we want to make ourselves an advanced one and the elite one. And then we want to make ourselves the upgrades as well. We are definitely going to want to speed that up. And we are definitely going to want to be more cost effective. Also, we also need, I said also twice there. We also need the conduit so we can give these guys a little bit of power like so. And we'll turn off that limit. I don't think that really makes that big of a deal. Anyway, so the tier installer, we can do the advanced tier followed by the elite tier. All right, and then we need the upgrades to make it a little bit faster and energy efficient. All right, so we add those guys right like so. And add this one. And of course, we will add the muffling upgrades at some point in the future. Turn the auto sort on, so now we can drop anything in here that it requires to turn into the biofuel. We should take a look at that one more time. So, looks like saplings, cactus, pretty much anything. So it might be worthwhile for us. Oh, sugarcane. It might be worthwhile for us to make ourselves another MK2. Yeah. I think we should probably do this, huh? Make ourselves another one of these completed. I want to use one of those MK2 chests to output what the resource is that we need, so we can just fill it full of emerald blocks and never worry about it again, essentially. So that's the idea. So let's grab a stack of emerald blocks. We'll dump those in here. There's another energy condenser. Okay, so this guy we can set, I guess right here should be fine. We'll need to get ourselves some translocators. I don't think we need glowstone for this, but I'm just going to do it anyway, because it's one of those upgrades. It's like, you don't really need it a lot of the time, but you might as well, because it only costs one glowstone dust. It doesn't hurt anything, right? So we'll add that there. So now we need to get ourselves something to output. Let's do sugarcane, because why not? We were talking about we need more of that earlier. So we can EMC for that all day long. And then if we add in like a stack of emerald blocks here, now we have all the sugarcane. So that should be able to output to this machine. We'll just take a look here and say the side config, that'll be input. No. Well, why is that not inputting? We told it that it can accept elite crushing factory. Does it not take sugarcane? Let me check this out. So sugarcane definitely goes in there. It's not accepting power either for some reason. There we go. Okay, so that goes in there just fine. So why is it not accepting items? We're on the items tab, input, input, input. Maybe it does not like translocators. We could try some other type of pipe. We could try the regular Ender IO item conduit. We could also use the mechanism pipes. There's a few different options we have available to us. Always active. This will be set to insert. Still not accepting the items, and I'm not entirely sure why. Input. Oh. Oh, I placed... That's the back of the machine. Right. Okay. My mistake. So I guess the translocator would work. Yeah, these machines, when you put them in a factory form, it's kind of hard to tell which way is the front. That's my mistake. There we go. Okay. So that absolutely does work with the translocators, as long as you know which side is which in the side config. So now we want to extract this over into here, so we can grab ourselves translocators as well. And of course, we'll do the glowstone, because why not? All right, so there's a glowstone for this. And we add those together here. The front of this machine, we need to set to output. This one, I believe that's the front as well. We'll set that to input. Piece of glowstone here, press the button. And now we are making ourselves substrate and ethylene. Okay, so we got a good portion of that done. It was a little bit more complicated than it should have been. But yeah, we're able to now produce ethylene, which is a decent source of power if you want to do the gas burning generator or whatever. We kind of don't need that in this particular playthrough because we, at this time, are using all the solar, right? So yeah, we have plenty of power. We don't have to worry about that, using that. But for other mod packs, if you need a good power source, that's a pretty good one most of the time. So yes, we have a stack of substrate, we have ethylene, the uses for that substrate, we do need to put with oxygen and liquid ethylene, so there's a few more steps here, and that'll make the HDPE pellet, which will allow us to make the HDPE sheet, which we can use, finally, to make the transmutation table. So we're on our way. We got some automations going on here. I'm pretty happy with where we are right now. And very soon, we'll be able to do some good stuff. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.